And I'm going to clap one more time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of the Mia Connect Power Chat. It's always a hot mess up here in the green room. I have Layla Martin and Dennis Deuce who came in. Look at these two hotties. We're going to change it up this week entirely. Most of you know that the anything to do with animals, Rescue Sanctuary is so near and dear to my heart. It's off the chain. I get a little cray-cray when I see roadside circuses, when I see fairs that have, oh, hold the tiger cubs. You ain't seen nothing yet till I get a little nutty of like, please don't support that type of thing. So with that, I'm going to jump in with Becca. If you guys don't know about Wild Animal Sanctuary, it is in Keensburg, Colorado, which is how far from Denver?
Almost about 30 miles.
It's beautiful. People don't realize that in Colorado that the mountains are great, but the plains are just as great because the view is awesome. So tell us what you do there. Tell us all about the animals that are there and what you all do.
So I'm the director of animal care. So essentially we do, as you know, take in animals from the wildlife crisis, the captive wildlife crisis. We have about 350 animals now that we house that are here for life. So once they do enter our doors, they get to stay here and we spoil them rotten in hopes to give them every ounce of freedom that we can. I do like the animal care, so things like feeding, poop scooping, all that kind of stuff, along with the medical stuff as well.
There is a pack of Bolivian lions that came from a circus that Bob Barker was also part of the funding for the rescue. Is that correct?
That is correct. And ADI is also an organization that we work with as well that is kind of pursuing some other rescues of that nature too. So.
And what is ADI, hon?
It's Animal Defenders International.
They're policing situations like that, correct? You do have a voice. If you see roadside circus or something where these animals are in not good shape, you can you have a voice. Social media is great for that, right?
Are they in cages that are inappropriate, covered in filth, that kind of stuff, and that can always help be a catalyst to some degree for people to either choose on their own to relinquish an animal and realize that they made a wrong decision.
I do love that education piece of, you know, a lot of these animals, they come from like drug dealers and people who just don't know that you really shouldn't be keeping an exotic animal as a pet.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't recognize what they're taking from the animal too. Like they think, oh, I can keep it as a pet and it's going to be fine. But you look at the logistics of what a tiger needs and how much space and their social dynamics. People can't give that to them. So that's why we do like the large habitats.
You have the mile-high kind of path over it too. Talk about that.
And one of the biggest components that our founder packs is that elevation, getting you up in the air to view them rather than being on the ground, creates less stress. It's not as territorial. They just kind of look at you and go, oh, you know, you're up there, not a big deal. A lot of times the people end up being more of something that they want to watch because they're not feeling threatened. You know, we don't force any of our animals out on exhibit. So if somebody wants to be out, they're out. If they don't want to be out, they make that choice themselves. We always make sure you have plenty of food so you don't have to do anything for food. We come across a lot of animals that feel like they have to perform or do something in order to get fed.
Are you at wildanimalsanctuary.org?
Yes.
Listen, Layla, did you have any questions for Becca at all or any comments?
Are you north or west of Denver?
So we're kind of northeast of Denver.
Tell us about some of the favorites at the sanctuary that people love, some of the favorite animals.
We have, so part of that Bolivian rescue was an older man named Kimba. He actually came to us. He was kind of a different situation than the rest of them. He was in their zoo for 12 years, and prior to that, they believe he belonged to a circus who then relinquished him to the zoo. And the sad thing for him was they actually almost like cemented him into his enclosure. So the only place that he could look out was straight into the sun, and it actually caused a fair amount of damage to his eyes.
Oh, buddy.
So weak and had so many issues when he got here that we were concerned he wouldn't make it through that first year. And he is doing wonderful. So what he loves is he gets to be the king of the Bolivian lion house, and it has a house with a radiant heated floor that we specially built for him. So he's been toasty warm during the winter, and then during the summertime he loves spending his time just like an old cat outside in the sun.
Does he? Does he sit like with his eyes kind of closed, just chilling?
Yeah, he loves it. So originally he was blind in the left eye completely, and they thought he had about 70 to 80%. And he's continued to lose it the sight slowly. And one of the cool things that we We built him these black and white boards so that he can navigate in his enclosure, and he figured it out, knows exactly where to go, what to do. He has elevated food dishes.
It's funny, when I looked you up, Google decided it wanted to give me the definition of sanctuaries, and it really is that it's not about for the entertainment of humans, it's about the care of the animals. And like you said, you're not squishing them out there like, go be entertaining and making them get out there. So tell us about some of the community things that you've done.
Absolutely. We definitely try and educate the public as much as possible. So we have everything from guided tours to we also have speakers bureaus that can go to like businesses, talk about the captive wildlife crisis, along with educate them on the sanctuary in and of itself. You know, we can't thank the community enough. Through the community support is how we've been able to continue to do what we do.
The community really gets around a lot of the rescues and the sanctuaries are around here too. Hey, we have a quick question from my brother out in Italy. Hi, Nazim. He wants to know the size of the wild animal sanctuary.
So we are 720 acres, and we have just over 300 animals.
I would say that again, how many?
350.
Wow. And then what's your capacity?
You know, we could take our habitats and make them 20 by 20 feet. That's not our goal, and so it all depends on our ability to build habitats, ability to acquire land and things like that. So it's kind of, we're always growing, but we do unfortunately have to turn animals away.
Oh, I bet that's hard.
Animals in need, so many animals in need. I think 320 acres left that we can develop onto before we're out of land, essentially.
Okay. You would just have to buy more land around you, is that correct? Is that possible?
And it's definitely there. Of course, funding is a big thing for that because land is by no means an inexpensive position, but we want to give them those 20-acre habitats and give them that space to run around on.
It's so important. And then what kind of volunteer opportunities do you have?
We kind of approach our volunteer program as what attribute does this person have that they feel they can give to the sanctuary and give to the animals. We have people who come help with everything from animal care to people who help build the habitats.
Yeah.
One person may say, I'm not the best at speaking with the public, but I'd love to help build a 20-acre habitat. And the fact that somebody wants to give of their time, which is so precious to so many of us nowadays, we're thankful for a lot of it. But if anybody's interested, you can go online and look.
So from a remote perspective, like a lot of the folks that are watching are from all around the country, how can they help?
Word of mouth is, you know, what gets us to know that people can come visit, can come see what we do, and really get invested in the cause and the passion that we have.
What we're loving about Google Hangouts is that we can get people's attention and say, okay, when you come to Denver, why don't you go check out this place, and check out the Wild Animal Sanctuary. So we're going to make you a little destination spot.
Well, thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And then let's go to my panel and see if you guys have any questions.
I love what I'm hearing. It's just so fantastic to hear. And I miss all the different kinds of animals you have. It's mostly cats, right?
Our highest population is bears, black bears, grizzlies. We do have 3 Kodiak bears that are quite larger. One who's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts named Max. And then we have lions, tigers, leopards, things like that. And then we have some alpacas and a camel thrown in there too.
Oh, that's fun. I see why this is definitely going to have to be a Denver destination.
Absolutely, and we'll talk about that more. But if you don't mind, so tell us again how we reach you and where you want us to go.
The best thing is to go to our website, which is thewildanimalsanctuary.org. Because then you can kind of filter through everything if you have a special interest, everything from just finding out about the organization in general. And then if for any reason you need to contact someone directly, you can always do like my email, and most of us are just our first names at wildlife-sanctuary.org.
Becca, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mia. It was nice to be on. Thank you guys very much for your time.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Becca.